This is the SmallRig S70 talking to the camera. This is the sound of the HOLLYLAND microphone system talking to the camera. And this is the sound talking down to the microphone. And this is the SmallRig S70 talking down to the microphone. Hey there! So today I want to talk about a wireless microphone, a new wireless microphone, and I want to compare it to the favorite wireless microphone that I used for quite a while now. I have the HOLLYLAND Lark M2S, really small and really nice. This is the new one, this is the SmallRig version basically, and I have it on here right now. Form factor and style is basically the same, but what is the difference? I really want to see that. I used both. I used the SmallRig S70 for quite a while now for some shoots, and I have some experience. I wanted to test them, and here is basically my comparison in terms of sound, usability, reliability. First things, they are basically the same form factor. They have two microphones, a receiver for the camera and for the phone USB-C. There are different kits on the HOLLYLAND, I think. There's a phone-only version, I think. But basically, it is the same form factor. In terms of price, depending on where you buy them and where you look and if there's a sale, the HOLLYLAND goes for around 140, 150, sometimes less, but most likely over 100 euros at least. I got mine for 150, I think. And the SmallRig one is about 90 or 99 or 100. I think I paid with shipping and taxes about 107. So it's about 50 euro cheaper than the HOLLYLAND, at least in Germany. In terms of features, they are almost the same. Let's talk about the SmallRig one first. And by the way, you are listening to the SmallRig one for this section. So basically you have two microphones, two separate channels. The difference is you actually can switch between mono, stereo and a safety track. This is really a difference between those microphones. The HOLLYLAND doesn't provide a safety track feature if you use one microphone. Most of the time I'm using only one microphone for an interview, so the safety track feature is really nice because actually you can't record on the receivers or the microphones itself, like on the Rode microphones. You don't have any record capabilities. So that is a little bit of a downside for both sets. But again, going back to the SmallRig mic, you have noise reduction options. With the SmallRig one, you have 3 different kind of settings. By the way, I have the USB-C connected to the phone, so I can control the receiver that is on the camera with USB-C, and I have the noise reduction turned off. I'm turning it on now, and now you can really hear it sounds quite okay, I think, with the low settings. With the medium settings, it sounds a bit artificial, and the high or strong setting is not the best, I think. It's too much. But the weak setting is actually kind of usable, I think. But most of the time I'm turning it off because I have quite powerful tools on my Mac to reduce noise and room tone. But if I use it on the phone directly for live stream or even recording right there and the client gets the footage, it's nice to have this option, and the weak really sounds okay. Now, what is a different thing on this microphone, the SmallRig microphone, is also you have EQ settings. You have pre-selectable EQ settings. I'm not a big fan of that, not because of how they sound, just because I really want to have the option to have those selected in post. And some are really gimmicky. I'm turning it on now. I'm on the normal setting right now. This sounds okay. This is the full setting now. This is the male setting. Environment, it's not really clear what is happening. They claim they have a big music producer selecting or creating those profiles. I'm not quite sure about those. So usually I would let it to normal or full, but then again I'm turning them off anyways in the app. I mean, again, if you shoot on a phone and want to deliver right away to a client or live stream, this might be something interesting to have a bit more creativity right there, or control, so to speak. But most of the time, I'm not a big fan of those pre-selected EQs because, again, I'm using my EQs, my high-priced plugins on my Mac, and I do my post-production depending on voice or what type of production it is or whatever. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. But it's nice to have, and they sound okay, I think. Something that is really nice on this microphone from SmallRig is the automatic limiter or pop sound reducer, or whatever it's called. I think there's a limiter going on and a low cut, something like that. And yeah, this really works quite nice. Even if I sound really loud now in this microphone, it doesn't clip. I think with the safety track, I will be able to pull that down. It's not 30-bit float, so you don't have that security. But with this turned on, you might not end up with clipping sound. I didn't see anything like that on the HOLLYLAND. Maybe there's a built-in limiter as well. I did not run into any clipping issues though with the HOLLYLAND so far. I will test it in a minute and see how this clips or not. So yeah, let's turn this off, but with that I have to turn off the mic. I have to shut down the receiver though for this feature to turn on and off. And let's see if now it's clipping. Yeah, I see it on my levels there. This really helps with clipping. All right, in terms of volume, output volume, you have a few more settings. There's a nice little dial there, and you have a few more steps there, a little bit better control in terms of levels, output levels of the receiver. So far, it's a bit on the lower side. I think overall I have the mic levels on this mostly on 5, sometimes 10. And on the A6700, I have it around 4 or 5 input levels for the microphone. With the Rode Wireless Go's or Wireless Pros on the A7S, I usually have it on 1 and have the output level a bit higher. I have a little bit more control with those, but overall I think the sound is okay and it doesn't have too much noise, self-noise, so to speak. Again, this is the sound of the SmallRig mic on this position, talking down to it, talking to the camera. This is the SmallRig mic, and now I want to switch to the HOLLYLAND mic and see how this sounds and talk a bit about those features. Right, so now I'm using the HOLLYLAND microphone. Again, this is fine as well. I use this quite a bit, over a year now, and I'm quite happy with this microphone. It looks different. I think the SmallRig one looks even less intrusive, so to speak. This has a little bit of an odd shape, but then again, I really like the ease of use with this microphone as well, and that there is no logo on there. I really like that, and no cables again. Now, I also connected the receiver that is on the camera with the app. It's a bit of a different app, but basically it's the same in terms of settings and stuff like that. I have it on the second level, output level. This has only 3. Usually the second level is fine, and I have it on stereo, so no safety track. I have it only on the right channel or left channel. So this is a little bit of a downside, I think, and there's no setting for limiter or whatever. Not quite sure if, no, it's clipping, so there is no limiter, built-in limiter. So the SmallRig one is better right there. In terms of noise reduction, this is now on the low noise reduction level, and yeah, it is a bit heavier, so to speak. And I think the high level really sounds not that good. It's really, even though there's nothing going on here, you really hear that noise reduction going on. So the noise reduction sound on the SmallRig one is better. If you need that, you might go for that. But overall, I try not to use them, the built-in noise reduction, because I really have good noise reduction. Even in Final Cut or and DaVinci Resolve, the built-in noise reduction, voice isolation is really powerful and not really that heavy on a machine, so it is usable. Both come with a little wind muff that is sometimes a little bit hard to get on, but if you get the hang of it, it usually is fine and it works great. Also on the receiver, as you can see here, it is using this little clip thingy here. So it's just usable in one direction, but it fits even on a side handle. The HOLLYLAND has a different kind of connection right there, and this is a little bit loose, especially on side handles and hand grips. It really only works on the hot shoe on the camera, so this is sometimes a little bit annoying. So far I didn't have any big issues in terms of connection issues or whatever. It is usually quite solid. Maybe it's not the best microphone system, both of them, for a longer distance or on a show floor, something odd going on, but for a close distance, just like this setup, it's fine. I didn't have any issues. And in terms of signal quality, especially with the limiter turned on the SmallRig one, this might be the better solution anyways, and with the safety trick. So yeah, so there you go. This is the sound of the HOLLYLAND microphone system talking to the camera, and this is the sound talking down to the microphone. And this is the microphone talking to the camera. Well, quick interruption. Having the SmallRig one now on there, I really had a close and really analytic listen to both microphones, and basically there are no difference. The levels on the SmallRig one is a little bit higher depending on the settings. On the output level 2 of the HOLLYLAND, it's a bit lower, but then again you don't have any safety track, so it is better to have it a little bit lower. But overall, I think frequency-wise, I have the analyzer going, and I listened with the new biodynamic headphone lab, so it's a neutral setting, and even on my speakers there, I really couldn't hear any difference. One more thing though, with the SmallRig one, you have to be careful sometimes. The microphone, the second microphone, that is in the case stays on or turns on depending on how you connect things, and it might record sound as well from inside the case. Like here now it's green, so it's charging, but if it turns blue it's connected, and especially if you have the safety track on, it records basically both signals in a mono track, and so you have sound coming out of the case. Right now it is not. Really check if the microphone is turned off that is inside the case. But otherwise, yeah, both microphones basically sound the same. So why do I like those microphones? Well, they are really small, lightweight, easy to use, don't have any big logos in front. Especially the mic from Rode or DJI have a big logo in the front, even with the magnets. And especially for client work, this is not really good or usable. Even on the hat or t-shirts or whatever, you really don't want to have any logos of third-party brands. This is a big no-no for most corporate and client work. And the ease of use is really nice. Just clip it on, no cables, no awkward situations where you get under a t-shirt or whatever. Anyways, so there you have it. In the end, both microphones are fine, but the SmallRig one has more features, even though the EQ settings are nice to have, but not quite useful for my use case anyway. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about those microphones or any other stuff, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments what microphone system you use and why. And so I will test those as well. Okay, see you in the next one. And back to work. Yeah, back to work editing this.